So I've officially started, taken the first baby steps into switching careers from pharmacy into cybersecurity. And I'll be honest, it is daunting. It's overwhelming, but it's also exciting. The issue is though that there's so much conflicting information out there from various YouTubers, from blog posts, from supposed guides about what's important to start with, how you should structure, what you can ignore, what you cannot ignore. It makes it difficult for people like myself with no background or knowledge of IT or computing at all to know what to do, how to structure, where to start, what tools to use. And so I've figured that out slowly over the last month or so, and I'm hoping to be able to share this with you so you can see what I've done so far, what tools I've used, and how I'm trying to stay on track. Trying is the key word. It's difficult when you have a full-time job, but I am trying. So if you're thinking of switching into cybersecurity too, or you're just a career switcher in another field, maybe the habits or the tools that I'm using that you can see in this video will help you. But first, I should probably introduce myself. So hi, I am Pav, and I am currently a pharmacist in the UK. I have been for a few years. I don't really enjoy it. I chose it because I was one of those people at the age of 18 when there's all this pressure about having to choose a career. You have to know what you want to do. And I personally don't think anyone really knows what they want to do at 18. Like, still kids, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I picked pharmacy back then just because it pays the bills, but I never really enjoyed it. I remember exam time at university. I was such a bad student. I hated it because I would have to force myself to slog through all these lecture slides on studying pharmacy, basically, and I did not enjoy it. But growing up now and seeing how the world has changed and technology innovations and AI use, I've really gained an interest in cybersecurity and in tech. I guess my long-term goal now is to land my first role in a blue team, get my first maybe SOC analyst or something similar role, just to get my foot into the industry and see where I go from there. But like a lot of beginners in this field, I felt completely lost at the start because there's just so much conflicting information. And so I decided to create a structure for myself, and I'm documenting that whole journey here on YouTube, for better or for worse. So we'll see how it goes. If you'd like to learn alongside me, subscribe and follow the journey. The very first thing I did was build a Notion tracker. And for those of you who don't know what Notion is, it's an app or a website that lets you build and customize your own timetables, your own calendars, to kind of organize your own learning. It really gives you the freedom to build your own tables and your own systems that you can use to keep track of whatever it is you're doing, whatever projects you're working on. I created one that I call the Cybersecurity Career Quick Start Tracker. I use it to have my study plans, to organize what tasks I have. As you can see, I have a task tracker here. I've also got a section where I've saved what resources I use so I can use them later. I've got a section for certifications so I can keep track of my progress and see where I am when I get them eventually, hopefully, and what I can then put on my CV or resume if you're American. And also, more importantly, and most usefully, I think, I've got a learning journal where I use to jot down the key points from whatever lessons I've learned that day, from whatever topics I've covered. And so I can come back later whenever I'm doing quick reviews and read through these notes without having to go through entire modules again. So hopefully this will help some of you guys as well. This tracker that I've made is in the download section. It's free for you to download. You'll just need a Notion account, and then you'll be able to duplicate this template that I've built for your own purposes. And so here is where I am right now. I've completed the first 10 modules of Cisco's Intro to Networking course, and that's given me a solid foundation, I think, in IP addresses, in subnets, and the very, very basics of how devices communicate and what the internet even is, because it's such an abstract content. It's such an abstract idea, what the internet even is to people that aren't studying it. I had no idea what the internet was. Was it just some big computer in some dude's warehouse? I don't know, but now I do. And so far I think it's been useful. What is cool that Cisco have is something called the packet tracer. And the packet tracer it's an app they have that you download that lets you simulate like networking environments, so you can study and learn how to link up certain devices, what connections to use, how certain signals are sent. It's a really useful learning tool, and it makes it very interactive and a lot more fun than reading notes off PowerPoint slides, which is what I had to do in pharmacy. So it's a lot more engaging. I think it's pretty fun. It really helps reinforce the learning. So far, that's what I've done. I've started with Cisco's introduction lesson on networking, and I found it useful. You know, I think I've learned a lot. And moving on from there, the other thing I've started to do is TryHackMe pre-security. What I've found so far is, because I've only just started TryHackMe, there's a lot of overlap between what TryHackMe is teaching me and what the Cisco modules were teaching me, but I found that's really helped reinforce my learning and jog my memory so I don't forget things. And also, I do think that TryHackMe is a little bit more, slightly more interactive, it feels like. Both of them, the Cisco modules and TryHackMe, have questions at the end of each lesson that you have to answer. Cisco's ones tend to be multiple choice, whereas TryHackMe, you have to actually know the answer and type it out freehand, which makes it a bit more challenging. But I think it also shows how well you've paid attention and if you actually have learned. So that's pretty cool. The TryHackMe one also has an AI bot, like an AI chat bot that can help you, and you can ask questions as well, which is also quite useful. I guess if I was to summarize it, I would say so far the Cisco modules have been more helpful with networking theory, and TryHackMe has been more helpful for hands-on things, although the Cisco packet tracer was also pretty hands-on and helpful too. So I would say it's good to do both. Shameless self-promotion, you can use my free Notion tracker to help organize everything. I mean, I have found it helpful, so hopefully you guys will too. And hey, it's free, so you might as well try and download it and just see how it goes. If you don't like it, then that's okay. There is also a video that I watched the first 30 minutes of. It's a long video, it's 5 hours, but it's called the 50 most popular Linux and terminal commands, full course for beginners. And it was developed by someone called CompTIA, and the channel that has uploaded it is called freecodecamp.org. I have found that very useful actually at introducing to me what Linux is and how the command prompts work. So that's also a very useful thing that I found to do, and I'm gonna, I think, continue working my way through that video slowly. And once I've worked my way through it, I'm thinking of creating just some command cheat sheets for people so anyone can use them freely, just to, you know, help kickstart us on practicing and learning Linux commands, because we'll need those. So for the rest of this month and early June, I am planning on hopefully finishing pre-security and delving further into seeing what TryHackMe has to offer. I know there's a lot of blue team rooms that I can get into and tools like the Nmap, so I'll be trying those out. I'm also thinking of launching maybe a starter kit to help fellow beginners with just useful information, maybe some study plan routes, PDF guides, maybe something similar to that. We'll see how it goes. For now, the focus is going to be on studying. My aim is anywhere between 5 and 8 hours a week, I think is reasonable for people that have a full-time job. So that's my aim right now. And I mean, I am my own boss in this, you know, there's no deadline except the deadline I set for myself. So that's my target really, 5 to 8 hours a week. So if you're switching careers or just starting out in cybersecurity like me, you're not alone. And I'm going to try and document everything I do on this journey, all my wins, my mistakes, my losses, and my lessons, so that we can learn together. Don't forget, you can download my free Notion tracker down below. There'll be new videos regularly, hopefully. I was supposed to upload this a long time ago, so it's difficult. YouTube's hard too, okay? How do people do this? You know, okay. But yeah, hopefully it'll be more regular with the uploads. And if you're on your own cybersecurity journey, drop a comment below. It'll be great to say hi, and I'd love to connect. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the comments.